Hi, all you beautiful souls. Here's a new video for you, just in time for Valentine's. Love and happiness, more than they are defined. In my very first video, I made no secret of my hardships in life and briefly spoke on how I'm still able to be happy. In this video, I'll go into more depth and highlight moments in my life that allowed me to grow into an understanding of happiness. I've been told my life couldn't have been that hard, or I would be miserable like they are. My answer is that I have been miserable, but with a little luck and a lot of love, I was able to learn to see beyond my pain. If you are ready to lighten your soul or be the person someone is lucky to have, I'm about to share my lessons learned through hardship along my journey to spark your desire to be alive in whole self and choose to be happy. The inward journey is an in-depth topic for another video, but I would like to ask you to ask yourself a few questions. What is happiness to you? Do you have this, and what do you think is holding you back? Any small moment that gives you the feeling of happiness is worth holding on to. The other day, my son asks me, if I give my friend a card that says I love you, does that mean I have to love her like you and Daddy? My answer, no dear, love is a connection that makes many types of relationships. You can love your neighbor, friend, child, parent, and life partner. It means you have a connection that forms an appropriate relationship. Experiencing the traumas I did in my early childhood meant I couldn't properly understand or communicate my situation nor my feelings about them. To move beyond this, my support net, my family, relied and taught me to use my 5 senses to be compassionate and understanding. They taught me to see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and not take any of it for granted. It was at this time I also developed survival strategies, some good, some bad, and developed relationships based on feelings, some good, some bad. I put up a rose-colored bubble around myself, some stuck on the inside, some stuck on the outside. Over the years, I started noticing cracks in the bubble. In my 20s, the bubble crashed, and it took till my 30s to find happiness in myself. I was fortunate to have seen many places in the world as a child. Though I didn't understand the meaning of the places I visited, the magnitude of their energy left an everlasting impact. As I grew into an adult, my ideals crumbling and social group diversifying, I learned to love with my mind, one part knowledge and one part analyzing input of the 5 senses. Both over the years, I had developed many skills that taught me to become successful and happy in society's eyes. I saw the same from my peers, but knew they would need guidance in playing the game at first. I would encourage them to see diamonds in their skills instead of coal in their situation, and help them find the opportunities around them. If I use a tree instead of a person, for many it's easier to understand. By using your mind to love, it allows you to see the miracles in the mundane. Like this tree, what do you see when you look at it? A resource, the lungs of earth, a thing of beauty, an innate object, something with a life cycle, a tool for humans, a connection to history. The thing is that a tree is all of these things. The miracle in a simple tree is that it is, and always will be a thing of importance in small or great form. Every perspective, many sides, but every small thing has meaning. It took me a number of years and a few unhealthy relationships to realize that achieving was merely surviving and didn't lead to happiness. I was losing focus on the point of being alive myself while walking the mile in others' shoes. One point, even bringing in the philosophy, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and I was very successful at destroying my life for a few years. Even a child at first couldn't bring back my joie de vivre. Looking at the pile of life's rubble left in my wake, it was overwhelming. I had 3 choices: suffocate under the pile, climb over it and leave it where it is, or create order from the chaos and live amongst it. Having learned the first 2 lessons in love, I could sense beyond the pile and smart enough to realize I could climb over it to see the other side. So I did, and left the pile where it was. Life was ordered on the other side, but the stream that fed our growth was running dry. Both my son and myself were missing something. More love was added to our lives. I didn't want them to feel pain, so like my dad, I built a rose-colored glass dome around them. My eldest still remembered life on the other side of the rock slide and connected by love to his memories of that time. I thought I was supportive. We'll get through this together. I'm sorry life sucks sometimes. I'm trying to make it better. Then he was gone and everything shattered. This is when I learned the next lesson in love. Loving with your soul. Pulled back to the rock pile, I needed to make sense of where my knowledge went wrong. I took each and every rock and examined it and placed it neatly. In no time at all, I had built a bridge that let the waters of growth through, made use of the lessons learned, and gave me a view of the future. I realized that a soul is untangible and everlasting, always growing. Always with life, everything becomes something, and depending on how you look at it, that something could be small or great, positive or negative. That's when Cupid struck me, and I realized loving with the soul means to love and see beyond the present, and to learn and share knowledge from lessons learned as you travel the fluid waters of life and grow together. Most people look at a child and say, "You're so perfect, I wish you could stay this way forever." I look at children develop and see all the possibilities that may come from it. I see they will be perfect forever, even when they become adults, no matter what choices they make. Now I hear the story of Eve and the apple tree, and see the life of the tree as it grew to produce an apple that we ate and absorbed knowledge for both its physical and spiritual metaphors. Fruit from the tree feeds our body and allows our minds to function, just like the fruits of our knowledge feeds the future and allows them to function. Being alive is a progressive state and exists beyond death. In youth, we have expansion. As a teen, exploration. Adults, understanding. Family preserves lineage. Elderly want to preserve the past. And we do all of this forming trust and respect through the connections we make with others. In these connections, we create a memory. That memory is the preservation of our soul. This is when I realized happiness is a choice, a way of looking at things. That is what is important, to be happy in the moment. Allow yourself to feel everything and keep building memories. Once you find the trinity of connection in mind, body, and soul, you can begin to love yourself and everything around you with trust and respect. That is where happiness lives. In choosing happiness, it is important not to be oblivious to negativity, but to see all sides. Like a fly's eyes, try to see life through many lenses and find the good or happiness in each lens, be it growth, lesson, achievement, understanding, whatever is appropriate. The key to building good connections and relationships is communication, using the whole of oneself to express thoughts and feelings. Sometimes it takes a while to focus all your senses in a moment and experience in understanding, but when we do, we grow together. Talking becomes a dance of feelings and thoughts. Sex becomes a dance of souls entangled in embrace. Love for all becomes natural. Happiness becomes fluid and adaptive. Friendships become stronger and more meaningful. Happiness resides in all of us. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, and stay positive.